Team STORROR is a group of friends that grew up in the south of England that basically share a passion for parkour and adventure.
We happen to have a massively diverse range of skills that allows us to take on a lot of crazy projects.
Places we never would have gone without the team.
Doing parkour in skyscrapers in Asia.
Diving off bridges in Basel.
Running around deserts.
Running away from monkeys on rooftops in India.
Always thinking bigger, trying to be more creative.
Constantly looking for another adventure.
It kind of makes perfect sense for us to set our sights into the gaming world.
There's never been a project that has got us as excited as this one.
STORROR Parkour Pro is the first parkour game solely about parkour and its culture.
Connecting with your mates across the world, free roaming, multiplayer options.
On the starting line with like all of your mates to have some crazy race across town.
An open world exploration game where there'll be missions,
training, doing new challenges,
evading security,
time trials,
massive roof gaps, slides through flumes, huge wall runs.
Become immersed to a level at which you actually feel like you're a part of this sport.
We want to build into the game the most ambitious animation technology.
Taking the motion capture to a whole new level.
Completely fluid so that it feels exactly like you're doing parkour in real life.
People always say, I really want to be able to do this, or I would love to be able to try parkour.
There'll be a process of kind of character progression, learning the skills and abilities that you need.
Through the tutorials, sharing techniques.
That's it!
Our goal is to make STORROR Parkour Pro the most progressive urban sports game ever.
The effect that this could have on the parkour community is similar to what the Tony Hawk's franchise did for skateboarding. And having a parkour game on major consoles is going to completely change the sport.
The main point was do not texture cubes. Like, too long didn't read don't texture cubes. So that is basically what we need to know about.
Kind of. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, there were like a lot more, in-depth analysis, but
I feel like where I ended up, rather than strictly don't use cubes, was don't use anything that feels like a cube.
Yeah, no, but
yeah,
like don't texture cubes. Yeah. Not don't use cubes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If can you bring up there is a bit of the real the representation on motion matching. I was working with that with David earlier on. There is a bit which they show, the character is jumping and they say, oh, the motion matching can now do the jumps and stuff, right? And they have a very, they have a grayscale level of some.
Oh, the rooftop, yeah.
Yeah, so that is very interesting because, I want actually to go and analyze that with you because, that is, he has got some very key points that, we need to take a note.
Motion matching. I was literally watching it like 5 minutes before I jumped into school with you. This?
Yeah.
No. Where was it?
It's quite
quick,
right?
There we go. I knew I was in the right area. I just kept going around it.
Let me.
Get to the... Let me. Let me share my screen with you.
So. Okay, so if we go to the point where he does the actual jump, right? Okay, there, okay. It's just gonna go, okay, so this bit here, right? So the interesting part about this is that it's not very dissimilar to what we have. Okay,
it's really not. It's weirdly quite similar.
It's got basically the same elements, okay, but this looks like they don't look texture cubes, right? And there are like a few tricks, like stop exactly here, right? Here the whole environment is a 90-degree horrible thing, right? But And the very clever thing that they did here is, if you notice every corner, he has got that nice bevel edges. Like there are no actual cubes here. Like there is no, like, apart from the floor, okay, and
Oh yeah.
like there is no object, right? There is a straight cube. And that is, or rather, right? There is no an object there that is not part of the, you know, structure of the building that is made with implicit surface. They're all model, right? And then also the very interesting part that if you see those aircon vents, they are all a little bit dented, a little bit broken.
Yes, which we have
If
already picked up and
Yeah.
started using.
So
This one's quite sharp and quite squared off. Wait, can you see my
yeah,
mouse?
but
Yeah.
it has, like, that is an object, right? That is, you know,
Yeah,
whatever that thing is, right? It is an object. But
I think also because
overall,
I think it's the average of the scene rather than any specific element.
yeah. So overall, there are all cubes in this scene, but you don't see the cubes. Right. It's all a 90-degree angles, but
Mm.
it's, in here, for example, there is no that, that we go our vanishing point, which was all the lines that pointing straight to there.
Yeah,
Here, it's a little bit more like a grid, right? And also, the way they place those props, the pallets and the bricks and stuff, they just place it out of the way for the most part, right?
yeah.
And and it really helps, breaking up the thing.
To be fair, I already use props like out of the way in corners and stuff a lot to hide that horrible little corner section. Like I use
So
pallets and boxes and things like that.
so yeah, and the 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 thing to notice is that, the objects there, they go a 3D shape. Like yesterday we tried,
Oh,
photogrammetry wall,
the walls,
which
yeah,
had,
yeah.
the brick and the everything. So, and here as well, you can see that the edges of, every corner there, they have those, gutter. Right? What those things are
Oh
like?
yeah, it's got like a. It's not a gutter.
So
It's like a trim. It's like a little ramped up trim.
yeah, yeah.
Actually,
So
do you know what it is? It is. Hang on, let me. Oh my god, I've got to switch my screen in so many places. Change windows to Unreal. Change window to Unreal. There we go. What it is, it's got on every one of them. Turn off the cinematic. It's got that dip and ramp up.
yeah,
But it doesn't just have the ramp up, it's then got them cut into sections.
yeah.
You are?
But yeah, but the difference is that they look like an object. In our scene, they look like geometry, and I think, like, is, the very very key point is, for me, from this angle, I thought that there were whatever guttery trimming things in there. I didn't see the geometry of that, right? I saw, okay, right, that is, gutter thingy. And yeah, so I think, like, that is what we need to translate in our level. So if you go to the new scene of, the new scene of that, of our level, right? We have, that, for example, that wall there. You curved the wall and it has a nicer feeling, but it's still basically
Oh, it was super messy. I just wanted to see if bringing it in looked
Yeah.
if the shape of it looked nice. The wall is the corners all fucked up and it's all a different width and stuff. And that.
Yeah. But
Hey, what's up, Crafton? What's up, Ned? What's up, Logan? Yeah.
so
Also,
um
I really like this shot. Hang on, this way. I don't know why I really like this as well coming through here.
okay, so like this bit here, right? See those bricks there, like the problem with those bricks is that they are not 3D, right? They
Look.
again they are just a flat texture on a on a flat surface.
There you go. Sorry, it wasn't nanite enabled, so it wasn't tessellated.
Yeah, but even tessellated, right? This is like
Yeah.
the bricks are, is a flat sheet that is, spread across that surface. But like real bricks, like that, like okay, so it may take some time, but like if you try to replace, like, can you have a model of one brick, right? And then basically do a Lego block, right? You just build that V-shaped thing, right? But you just place, you know, brick by brick, right? Like in real life, right? You build that object, right? Of course, it is a complete waste of time, right? If you have to do it. But what I'm saying is that will feel completely different because it's a 3D object of a brick and is not a flat projection of a tiling texture over an
Well,
implicit surface.
we were talking about using like instances to actually build them, weren't we? At one point,
Yeah, I mean,
and to like build the floors and stuff.
it's only hypothetically, right? That, as I said, I'm not suggesting that we need to model brick by brick, okay? But
Ah,
just
how
to make the point that it will look completely different because, yeah, it will, it will force the thing to have a real volume rather than be a agnostic shape. And the same thing goes for those bits at the bottom and at the top, right? Those will be just you know
yeah.
I don't know, real things.
How hard do you think it would be? No, we haven't added double flips yet. We don't have any animations for them. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. How hard do you reckon it would be to have a tool that would take a base shape we feed it and then actually build it with bricks?
I mean, that's not that's not too hard, really. The problem that I always find with these things, and so already like here, right? It just looks a lot better, and it's it's just you just did like 5 or 6 of those, right? But yeah, but you see how being in 3D it just brings I don't know, it just brings the shape, right? And because then, like, what you will notice is like when you go around the corner, right? It's not a flat projection anymore. Around the corner, you need to do like Jenga style, right? And like fitting like the brick one on top of one on top of each other. Of course, the the real problem there is the grouting, right? The grouting, it's like it's not there, and it won't look as good as the textures and blah blah. But another another way of doing it would be just to get, just take the photogrammetry of that, take the picture of extractor like that, and you have the complete 360-degree shape, right? Without having a million bricks on the level, because so, and also you can do the same thing with the tiles on the floor, right? You can just place one tile at the time, and it's of course it's gonna be crazy, but it will look and feel like it's not a flat projection there.
Couple of them in. Dotted around. I have a feeling it's just going to look weird. Curious.
Yeah, I mean, you can like fool it like that, right? If you do it like. See, it's I don't know. He has got something, right? Some more shape into it, but the problem there is the structure is that bit there, that when it goes into the V thing, like that brick is like that texture is cut exactly geometrical over that, and it doesn't really work, right? Because the other problem there is the way they fit in the floor, and the way they fit in the ceiling is it's different. It's also like those CCTV camera, right? Without I don't know, some cables.
Yeah, I wanted to do. And then they run up, and then over, and then just disappear into this wall, like into a little junction box or something. I just haven't put them in.
Yeah, but those are the details that will that will make it
That will sell it.
because like it's almost better not to have it if like if that breaks, like a camera like that, which looks like is floating magically in there, almost breaks more than not having it, right? I think so. The cable component.
Yeah, it's like an Unreal default cable thing.
Oh, that's fancy. Did you
It's pretty
update
cool.
to 5.4?
I have. This isn't the project's not in 5.4. This has been in Unreal for ages.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This has been a long time thing, and in Unreal. The only annoying thing is you're a bit limited. You can't. It's not like a spline where you can add points to it. I guess you kind of can, but they all use the same endpoint. It's weird.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you try to put more than one cable on it, it gets a bit fucky. Which means you have to have a few of them running.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
really, I would just model like a vert tube running around. I just want to see
Yeah, because we don't need the
physics.
We don't need to go full physics on or something like that, right?
I don't think it's real physics. I think it's fake physics. I think it's just taking a spline and working out the curvature based on length and all that shit.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
it's
bands
a,
and stuff, so it's quite
yeah.
involved, right?
But yeah, even something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The cables look a bit too big for that type of camera, but yeah, got that. Yeah, we can scale it. That's not a problem. Yeah. Because you see there, right? The more you work on the more you improve one area, and
The boss.
more the bad area surface up, like like a bubble, bubble sort, right? Just like the
Yeah.
bad areas like, raise to the top because you're the good areas that are just okay, yeah, good, it's fine, and then the bad areas they sticks up. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to deal with the I guess you just do it with proper UV, and I guess rather than a box projection to deal with the textures cutting off on corners.
for like in general for those
Yeah,
surfaces.
yeah, just as a more not specifically these pillars, but yeah, as a more general problem solving thing. I guess you do it, like I say, with proper UV and thank you. Because at the moment everything's just a box projection.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah,
But
so I think
composition wise, in terms of like geometry of the shape of the building and that, it solved quite a lot of the issues we were talking about last night. I think changing the shape of this.
um well, yeah, it did make that bit yeah, it did make that bit a little bit more grounded, but also we have a little bit more problems with the gameplay areas because you can't run freely over the oh, you know around that wall anymore, right? You're just banging into those things, right? So
Let's try it.
it is one of those.
I haven't
balance.
simplified the collision for this yet, so I'm not going to try and interact with it because I'll get some weird trace results.
Yeah. So, so going back to the composition, right? Can we,
So I'm happy with trying to run everything at the same time.
yeah, if you wanna, actually, no, I think we need the Discord part, otherwise it's gonna be a nightmare trying to catch up 20 seconds later. So in terms of like making things work, right? So there are still unsolved problems on how do we, how do we make this thing, how do we run that let us create, create those levels, right? So the pipeline that we don't have yet is well, we don't have the pipeline yet. Right? We don't know yet how to go. What is our strategy to build in the levels, right?
I guess so, but I think we're getting close to it.
But we don't have a reproducible case of like we don't have a final product that we say, right, okay, we got this corner here, right, and we know how to make this corner work, because now of course without lighting and stuff is it's hard to judge, but like this corner here is still got most of the issues that we got yesterday. It's not it's for the most part like all we can see here for the most part is implicit surfaces, right? And straight mapping. So
Reckon?
but yeah, I mean, so if you go like if you see that the guy that does 10 days of work for this thing, 5 days of work, the raga guy, right? Like, just can you pick up any of his 10 days of work videos? I think he changed the name. Okay, yeah, so that one.
Oh, he's changed it again.
Ah. So, so what is interesting to observe here for me is that after all, it's not that dissimilar, but the output is completely
Actually, this is a bad example to compare against.
Is completely believable.
Do you have anything that's a bit more UK-ish? It's really good. That one. So how does it feel to you at this stage, looking at this one? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage,
Right. Oh, it's my. It's...
it feels something that it's very achievable with. I think at this stage, like, it could take, you know, a couple of hours to just like kit bash this thing, right? I mean, apart from like if the space looks believable or not, that is another, that is another thing. That for the most part, this is like extremely.
No. I meant in terms of going on that feeling of believability. Because the thing is, we can skip forward a little bit, and it looks a lot better once the foliage is in.
Yeah.
But that's an obscene amount of foliage to have in a city that isn't dead.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, it's you know, it just serves the purpose of selling the shot, right?
So what was it you wanted to try and glean from his work, from this guy's work?
Well, I mean, this scene is one of the most simple one. But if you take uh, the Hong Kong street thing, right? So,
Yeah, the problem is I was trying to find one that is a bit closer culturally to where we're modeling. Because, like,
yeah, sure, but I'm not saying replicate exactly this, right? But see, I don't see that we have a pattern to arrive here. I mean, if I say 4 days of like take the next 4 days, arrive here, I don't see I don't see a pattern for us to get here. Of course, it's he may be very fast, he may be very talented, but like if we break down this scene, right, and we place the UK stuff, it's not that much. It's
yeah, but the problem is you have to approach them differently. Because a lot, like, the density in this, because of where it is way higher and it makes sense. If you'd done this level of density in the UK, it wouldn't fit, it would look wrong. But
no, yeah, sure.
basically everything he uses are straight edge cubes. He just hides it with an incredible amount of props everywhere.
Okay, but then
So we have to find a different way of approaching it.
well,
And also, if you look at brutalism and buildings as well, they are just a lot of very sharp corners.
yeah. I mean, we got the National Theatre, ironically.
Yeah, I know. But, like, it's not. The blockiness isn't the problem, is what I mean. because this doesn't have anything hiding the sharp edges. This doesn't have an incredible amount of props or anything like that, but it still looks good and it still looks believable. This is this is the image I was using to break down earlier for the study. And a lot of it, what I was finding is because it's got a lot of different height changes, a lot of depth changes. It's got occasional changes in the rotation for something that is the same shape somewhere else. It's got a lot of things breaking silhouettes, but it's one simple technique used multiple times in layers. And then obviously the vanishing point as well. I tried tracing all the lines to find the vanishing point, and it's really unclear to find it, which is something I tried to carry over. Actually really tricky. But yeah, you would approach making this scene completely differently to how you would make this scene. Because you would just basically block out. I mean, I made this alleyway and I basically just blocked out all of the buildings and then just covered them in props. And it looked great, but it didn't look UK.
No, but okay, but that's fine. But okay, so like if we do you still have the alleyway that you made?
I think so. I think it's in the texturing in the art repo. Well, I say repo. I've got my local is the only version of it, but I think it's in there. It's not in the game one.
Yeah, okay. But if you can load it up, I think my main point is that so far we don't know how to get to the final quality, right? We know how to roughly block stuff out. Like some can block out, all those all those amazing architectures, right? That's like, to block out the architecture is one thing, but to get to the final quality is another thing. And so I think what we are missing here is the link between going from the block out to the real objects. And intrinsically, our problem is that we are basically taking the block out as is and putting texture on top. Well, what we should do is to say, okay, there is this block, almost like we were doing with the brick wall, right? Of course, not to that extent. That is stupid, but like to say, well, okay, this is the door. Let's just have all the elements of the door. The door is not just the rectangle of the door. There is the handle, the lock, the architrave, the bit at the bottom, the gap between the things. There are lots and lots of components that make a door like feeling real. If we just paint a texture on a rectangle and say, yeah, it's a door, but it doesn't feel real. So there is that process that we are missing. Like, how do we go from the SketchUp cubes to real object that that they feel real? Like, we know that we can use a lot of nice materials, but we don't have the meshes, basically. So we lack the modeling of those surfaces. And again, I don't think we can model with implicit surfaces. I think we need to almost like sculpt, right? Almost like using ZBrush or whatever lets you sculpt a 3D shape. I mean, for some parts, right, there is a very straight wall. Sure, let's just put a plane there. But that is the exception. It's not the rule. Like in this screen here, they see this concept building, right? Sure, there are a couple of straight things, but the main thing there is that those windows, those things, and then it's quite hard to make them be believable if we are just taking cubes and just place images on those, right?
No, I don't think so. Because the only difference between a cube with a window cut into it and this is that this is beveled corners. This is a cube with a little bit of an overhang and then a square cut into it with beveled corners. That's all that is.
Well,
on this front, it's not even beveled. They are just sharp corner windows. And there's an angle change that goes up, sure, and it's got supporting structure underneath to make it, because it has to, makes it now fit with physics. But it is just a straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. It's a cube, it's an angled cube, it's a cube with the front corner cut out. It's smooth, it ramps down nicely here, but from this point up, it's just a cube.
Well, he has the shape of a cube, but it's not a cube because if you look it from the above, it hasn't got the same surface on the side. Like you cannot texture that cube. You need to treat it as a 3D surface. Like when we did the Hamburg level, right? Like all those buildings were cubes, right? But because we were, we took photograph of those things and just press building, photograph. Like there is something about real life that is just that you cannot, you cannot replicate. Like either you take a picture and that's right, but if you don't have the picture, then you cannot just put images on a cube. Like you could get away if you're using 3D texturing. If you're using 3D texturing and basically every pixel coordinate it has not a 2D coordinate in the texture space by 3D coordinate, then yeah, you can get away with that because that will give you the exact information of what that surface is in all free spaces. But we don't have the ability to do 3D texturing. Well, there is a possibility in the graphing library to do 3D texturing, but it's something that nobody uses, right? So we need to work with what we have, and what we have is a 2D texture, right, on a flat projection, and that will always break down because the top is totally different from the side, and the side is totally different from the front.
But if that's the issue, then the focus needs to go more into either putting a lot more effort into breaking up the mesh into different material IDs. So the front, side, and top, the different faces have different material IDs, so we can do slight variations of materials, which is expensive, or a lot of more of the focus needs to go into really good vertex painting then. So you can make each side unique. Vertex painting and decals. That means then it's not cube that's the issue.
Yeah, if it's a straight cube, it is the issue because here the global shape is a cubic shape, but like that bit there, in the ceiling, he has got a slight bevel edges, right? For example, see there he can see already. It's it's all wonky. It's got actually a little bit of of an horizontal line that goes inside the thing. Probably those two. There are two different concrete blocks. No, I mean on the left hand side, right?
Oh, this line.
Yeah, that bit there, and then the bit at the top is again it's this things that it's got it's not it's very irregular. I mean, sure,
Yeah, but that's already stuff we're doing. This line is just. I mean, we could model it. We could have it be geometry, or it can be a decal, whatever. Basically, already doing that. I'm already doing like adding overhangs and caps and stuff to things everywhere to break up the silhouette, and then I can either manually make it wonky. At the moment, we're just using tessellation to make it make it uneven. But like those aren't things we're not already using.
Well, yes and no, because you are placing a cube with a 2D flat projection on the overhang thing. That is not a cube with a flat 3D projection. Like the side, they go at different properties from the top. The top is, a different texture, but our our bit of the top is just another cube on top. But it's a recursive problem that we just where it's an logarithmical series that will never converge because we are constantly diminishing the errors but never really get rid of the errors because again those bits that you place on the top you just text to the cube but you cannot do that. It's just like it's a never ending chain of approximation that it will always bring you to mistakes at the end. So it's like in here there are a lot of imperfections and a lot of you know a lot of subtleties that you cannot possibly model with texture cubes. You need to get you need to sculpt it. Like you need to go, okay, that is segregated bit of metal at the top of that thing, but it needs to be almost welded in, right? You can just approximate all of that thing.
So is that where you think we should try next? The sculpting models instead of modeling models? Sentence doesn't make sense. But like taking the time to hand sculpt every.
Well, there is a balance, right?
Yeah, but I think the problem is even if I hand sculpt them, we're always going to come back to this same discussion of you thinking it looks like a cube because it is a cube. I think that no matter how many details I add, no matter how much I sculpt it in, when I add the weld lines and everything like that, I think there's something else tripping your brain. I don't think it's the cubes tripping your brain. I think it's maybe definitely the variation in the textures in terms of, you'd like just do an incredible amount of vertex painting to represent decades of real life that's happened.
Okay, so
but I think we're always going to come back to it.
But
you not liking that it's a cube.
Well, so if we take some level, right, as that is our reference, right? So all we did on some level was basically bringing it into Blender, right? Just you know, subdividing the topology of you know, of those of those shapes and placing a texture on top. So I think we will never get anything that can be used and that they can be transformed to like to
Oh,
raise the level of the thing if we had basically taken the same shape, and it doesn't matter uh how many things we put on top or around it, it will always it will always like the foundations of those things. um the, you will always beautify some cubes, right? Which you can win.
also, sorry, I'm reading this. I did actually have this open earlier, but I didn't realize you couldn't see it. Uh,
So if we look at this shot, right? Like, let's say that this is our final shot, right? It has got a lot of weak points that they don't make it, they don't make it final to me. For example, like the first thing that my eyes go to is that balcony there is a rectangle, right? And again, like that, it's a recurring problem that you basically place the same texture on each side of the rectangle, and it's just like it completely breaks down to me, right? The bit below that rectangle balcony, it works better because it had some pipe works going on. It has a gate. The texture is slightly, you know, there is wear and tear. That works, right? But then you go to see you look up and you see the rectangle balcony, right? So even with a lot of work, right, we are conceptually still not to the level that we want to be, right? Like this shot is not at the same level of the rugged guy. Like there are weak points in this, and my question is, right, that there is something intrinsic, right, that you know that we are making mistakes on those things, right? And even like those that bevel edge below the balcony, again, see how the texture cuts halfway through, uh and then it
yeah,
goes, so you can say, yeah, but that is easy to fix. But like we can go on and on and on and on and on, and you know, 10 days of work becomes 2 months because but that is very easy to fix. But like,
No,
but we need to get to the
easy.
point in which
Easy's not
is
the right word. It's working out what needs to focus. He's like, for example, fixing where that texture cuts off on edges. That's not necessarily easy. It's simple because it's fixing UVs and UV elements, things like that. But it's not actually easy. But what I mean is, I think things like that are causing a bigger problem in your head than the base geometry being cubic. Is the point I'm making? Because
I don't know. I think it's like the problem compounds, right? Like if I see like now the next thing that I see in this shot is those cables are straight, right? And at least the one on the forefront, right? They are, I don't know. I see a lot of straight cables. Maybe they are not from another angle, but from this angle, I see straight cables. And then again, you say, okay, fine. It just make it, you know, more round. Sure, but it's how many of those adjustments we need to see. I don't think we have a you know, the checklist, right? To say if i- if you place cables, like the the cables at the far of this shot, the one that goes into the white building, the second building there, yeah, those are good, right? But the other cables that they go mostly straight, they are not. So um it's so there are a lot of compounding, right, elements there. Like the next thing, you know, down the line that I see is that the piping around those you know, that white building, it doesn't make sense to me because I never see those horizontal horizontal white pipes going that way in a building. There is something there that it just doesn't feel. It's the it just it feels off. It doesn't really feel like piping. It feels like a trimming, right, on that uh, on on that building. And the next thing that I can see there is the aircon unit. The I don't know, they just like a little bit too many. They just look like there are more aircon units than windows. I don't know, like they just feel a little bit too much, right? And then see there, I don't see that it's see, I don't see that things are wrong. I mean, see, in his shot, I see a couple of wrong things. I think the wrong thing are those white pipes uh, on the front. I think they are off.
But that's literally where I got it from.
No, like the white pipes, you know, next to the
Oh,
those ones. Yeah, I think those ones they just look sus. But everything else is pretty crazy. I really like the floor. The floor is got, you know, that um nice chaos, right? That is see our floor. It's okay, but again, I see those two main vanishing point line. I see the lines super straight. Like in his things, of course, he has more things, but I don't see a straight lines that goes through there. I see more organic thing, and of course, he has some nice cloth simulation and blah blah. But in here, our you know that gutter on the road, it just goes straight and until the end. On the other side, straight until the end. So it's not a bad shot, right? But it's yeah, there are is not the final shot, right? Like probably uh we dress it up better, we do the thing, and we can get to that thing. And that's my whole point is right. Like just we need to get at least one shot, right? One shot that we say, right, this is our final scene, and it looks untouchable. Like it looks like it's basically beautiful and perfect, but we don't have it yet. Like those in our shot, those pipes that goes into the wall on the right, it doesn't. They look very off because
Yeah, to be fair, this whole scene's super outdated at this point.
yeah, but,
Um,
but like it's not a bad scene, right? It's like it can work, right? But see, like that scene there that you go on your right is a lot more convincing than the scene that we got in the level. Of course, you know, we throw a lot more budget in that. We just went a little bit, okay, yeah, sure, we have a lot of props, a lot of things, but is still, even with a lot more, is still not to the level that we need. Um, so, yeah, I'd like to see at least one scene in which we can say, right, we got it. Like, this is the level. Right? This is our benchmark, and we do these things 100 times, and we got the level.
What's up, Smith? No, I've never heard of Pixpunk. What is it? That's really cool, actually. No, I've never even heard of it. Yeah, I'll have to have a look into it. It sounds interesting.
Oh, I accidentally renewed the membership for Substance thing. Well, I mean, we need it at some point anyway. So if you use Substance, they have a bitmap to PBR tool that yeah, just do that thing.
That's cool. I need to get back into Substance really and learn it properly. I need to make the time for it. What's my favourite thing to do in UE? Play the game, not work on it. That's my favourite thing to do. I don't know what my favourite thing to do in Unreal is. My favourite thing to it's not really specific to Unreal though. I was going to say is problem solve. The puzzle is what I like. So Ah, sequencer annoys me. I don't know why. Playing Ragdoll's cool. Yeah, I don't really know what my favorite thing in Unreal is. I don't really have a specific favorite thing. I just like solving problems, or trying to. Do you know what's weird? It's almost the other way around for me. Because the feeling of accomplishment doesn't last very long before I move on to the next puzzle. Really, what I'm doing is running away from the itch in my brain if I can't work it out, as opposed to chasing the high of getting it right, which is maybe not incredibly healthy. But, you know, it's what it is. This is going to cause problems though, because they're all in. They can't, because they affect themselves. Go with it for now. Maybe just do it on the floor. Okay. Yeah, some of the stuff in 5.4 does look quite good, to be honest. Yes. Let's see if I turn that. Interesting as well that they've sped up a load of the nanite stuff. Each. To be fair, motion matching is already what we use anyway. We already do all that pretty much. Yes, you know, this isn't. But it's good to know that Unreal's and Epic's moving towards like a fully dedicated motion matching database, because it means any tools we do use, things like that, are going to be less. They're not going to have to fight the engine as much to make anything work or adjust anything, because it's inclined towards working for it anyway. It makes everything else we do a bit easier. Plus, what's fun is Unreal's moving towards like animation cleanup in that in-engine, which means we don't have to swap in and out of other softwares to fuck about cleaning up mocap. We'll be able to do it all in engine, which is very, very handy. What is the ambient occlusion on this level? Where is it? Vision. No. Limit.
Mm. Oh, you're trying to get ambient occlusion to work. Guns.
Yeah. Wait, am I muted? Hello?
Are you trying to get ambient occlusion to work?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Try to disable static lighting.
What, like make it movable?
In the project settings, check that if you have in the render, it's there's something called static lighting.
Allow static
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah, just keep that.
The only use dynamic light should set this to 0 to save some static line overhead. Disabling allows material to
I mean, you will rebuild everything, but it's worth it.
I swear to God, if that's all it took to get the AO back, that's going to drive me. Because I've been trying to get ambient occlusion to work right for months, and no matter how much I searched, that box didn't come up. Like I couldn't find anyone mentioning that.
From what I read from one of the engineers in Real. So basically, he say that they screw up that in nanite. Like if you don't use nanite, I think it's okay. Sorry, in lumens. I don't remember lumens or nanite, but like if you don't use them, then it's okay. But if you use them, then it's. I think it's their bug. They screw up the
Right.
ambient occlusion, and I think that was the trick to have it back. Maybe they fixed it in 5.4, but I don't know. Yeah, they broke it at some point. I don't know when, but apparently they broke it.
You know what's funny? I've just found a Reddit thread of someone saying disable allow static lighting. I've never managed to come across that before.
I don't know. It was in one of the interviews of the. The guy that made Nanite. He was talking about. Sorry, Lumens. He was talking about that.
Fair enough.
I'm really not sure why that would be the case, but
Yeah, because Unreal. Because
yeah.
there's so much technical debt in the engine. Every time they add something new, something breaks.
I mean, if you read the source code, it's all fix me, fix this, fix that. Oh, a tweak doesn't work. To do like fuck me. Like, how does anything work?
Yeah, Unreal does suffer a little bit from being able to do too much. Which is a weird thing to complain about because like it's great that it does everything. Problem is it has everything has a little bit of a problem with it.
Yeah, but you always get to a point where the complexity will kill you.
Yeah.
So I managed to make it work everything, well, almost everything in 5.4. The only thing that doesn't work is the physics simulation,
Which is somewhat
yeah,
important.
yeah.
It's
But yeah, for the most part, it's. I really don't know what happened to my camera. It's just static now. It doesn't move. It's just what the fuck is it doing? Come on, move.
What, even in your version?
Yeah. See, can you believe it? My camera is broken.
Oh no. We'll have to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, screw that. See that? What? that. Like, mate. No, like this really annoying. Oh man, it's awful. Where's my beautiful camera? Give my camera back. I want my camera back. I mean, playable, I guess. But I want my camera back. I want my baby back.
Baby, come back. Baby, come back. Good.
Here's some. See the new. Well, it's not new because we always use the motion matching, but the new version of the motion matching is they fixed the blending, which is good news, but it feels a lot more sluggish now, which is slightly annoying. But yeah, can't win them all, I guess.
Fix what, the blend time or the way it calculates between animations, or
So well, the way motion matching was originally thought to work, it was that you choose the best frame for your. So every frame you choose the best the next frame, okay, for your animation. Through various techniques. I don't know why, but I thought it was a good idea to say, well, we don't have the best frame. We want to have the best 8 best frames, and we're gonna blend between all of those 8 frames. So like you could choose right between 0 and 8 frames to blend, right? And for some reason, they really wanted you to blend between those 8 frames, but it was always a shit idea. And I always set it that blend into 0 because I don't blend anywhere. Just choose one and blend it, right? Don't choose 8 frames and blend this freaking eight things. So in this version, they kill it. They say, no, you need to blend, right? So even with just one frame to blend, two, like your frame and two possible candidates, it just feels a lot more sluggish because it needs to perform that blend anyway instead of like not doing anything. And I don't know why they're just so
you
they're
can't
fixated with this.
you can't
freaking-
you can't
What's
overwrite that.
going on? Say again, guys.
And well, you can't overwrite that.
No, I mean, I tried, and it simply doesn't move. Like now, you cannot have a 0 in that parameter anymore. You need to choose at least 2 frames. They need to they need to have a choice at least 2 frames. Well, yeah, slightly more. It's slightly more sluggish. It's slightly less what is the name? Responsive, which of course is a big problem for us because people say, "Hey, it's responsive." The plus side is that it actually works very well. I mean, at least they fixed the blending. Now it works, and it does a very nice job. But it's slower. It needs to, it needs to get there. Yeah. So yeah, but it does a very good job. It's a bit slower, but it does a very good job. So maybe you cannot complain too much.
Find something to complain about.
That was thing. Yeah, but
It's
the physics
better than a kick in the balls.
Yeah. And the good thing is that You know, what the tool they wrote to convert the animations, you re-elaborate them. Now it's super fast. Like now it takes less than a second to complete a full conversion, like going from motion capture to a full usable animation in game is less than a second. So it's basically immediate. So it's very good news now. And to be honest, I'm playing. Yeah, see, like that's a bit sluggish, but okay, I'll screw that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Physics. Why you're not? Mm. So a couple of random things. I found a guy that was using Unreal Engine 4, um, of all things. Um, the he brought the material to do, the nice vertex blend between, the same thing that you have when you enable runtime virtual texturing. Um, it
Ah,
seems to have that thing working on even on Unreal Engine 4. It's quite interesting. I may just
interesting.
actually have a look and see what it does rather than just skipping through the end of the video. And then I found another guy who fixed he fixed the performance issue with the foliage, which is one thing. But I think it's the same cause of the strange, green radioactive foliage LOD. I think is the same issue, and potentially that's been fixed in 5.4 anyway, but to be confirmed.
Good if it has.
The the there's like weird stuff about that those V-shaped things. Is that there is that huge pillar just in front of that door, and if it's like very misplaced,
I
I
get
really
rid of that one.
yeah.
Originally I only had the two on the sides, and then I had the idea of the player being able to pre between them, and I was like, oh, I kind of want one in the middle because that'd be really cool to pre between the V's. I even know I noticed it was in front of the door, and I was like, oh, it doesn't really make sense, but I'm kind of gonna go with it anyway because it'd be really cool.
But like pre from
from
the V
inside the
V.
from inside the V, yeah.
Uh,
I don't even know if it'd be possible, but it was like it was a really cool idea I had in my head. I was like,
yeah, probably you're gonna bang your head, right?
Hello.
La
oh,
la la.
Okay.
actually, that's good. That's good timing for you to get here because I think I'm gonna head off soon, so you can take over the stream if you want.
Yeah.
'Cause I got basically no sleep last night, and I've been on this since 4 already.
Yeah, sleep, man. Sleep is the number one thing, man.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that from you, from either of you two. You two never sleep.
Yeah, we're not ones to talk about to critique your sleep by any means.
I know.
Like,
Well,
if I put my mic, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
4 hours
I
is
might,
all
I
you need.
always had it before, but like bare clothes. But if I don't need it, I don't fucking need it. I don't fucking need it. Did Dad tell you guys the game is very good now?
It's very good.
Plays
What?
very
Oh,
well.
with the physics, you mean?
Yeah.
To be fair, I do really want to play with the physics. You need to hurry up and put it in the gameplay branch for plugins.
Well, too, I want to move it to 5.4 soon.
You're gonna move what?
I'm gonna move it to 5.4
Ah,
fairly soonish.
there.
I want a new nature match and stuff.
Yeah, don't do it just yet. So
Yeah.
dangerous. Need to fix the.
I mean, new rush.
Actually, I need to fix the physics. Actually.
Yeah, he's broken your physics.
The beautiful physics.
Right.
How dare you?
It's the other thing broken. Okay, so guys, before you go off,
Mhm.
can you load the crit level?
Certainly can do.
Okay, so um, Um, so what would be, right, the steps required to make this, um, let's say, to the shippable, like only visually, right? What would be the steps required to make it to the shippable quality?
Remove all the double walls. You only want them singular. Remove the tiling in the meshes because there's a very limited number of meshes. Get the vertex painting back. Slash do it again.
What is the issue with the vertex painting? Why does it go on and off every time?
No, oh no, it's because I've made change where I've remade the master material. I made changes to how I was doing it, so the vertex painting's still there. It's just in the wrong channel and things like that. So I just need to sort that out. A lot of the decals are all still here.
So this is in the game branch, right?
Yeah, this is in the game branch. Fix the vertex painting, sort out the tiling because there's a horrendous amount of tiling in the meshes. See, probably not that much to do.
Yeah, I don't see that much work to make it like visually shippable, right? It's you have got a good base of being interesting enough to be yeah. Yeah, it's quite easy to patch it up, right? One thing that I'm wondering is, so you have this bit of the walls, right? That you have like uh you use like Lego bricks, right? You got like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got pre-modeled walls. Like, yeah.
Um, so is there a reason why we didn't use the that spline tool to
Because I didn't have it.
split? Yeah, because we didn't have it. Right?
Yeah, I
And,
literally just hadn't made it at the time.
yeah, and yeah, I think it's yeah, keeping like this so it's close to the original, right? And yeah, I wonder if I mean, I got other stuff to do, but I would just really like to go like over over the weekend, right? And I would like to go over this thing, and I want to attempt to say, okay, right, I'm here on my own. How easy slash long will it take for me, which has got a limited, experience into this sort of things, uh, to yeah to fix the visual issues here. Because if I can get an idea, right, about what it takes to get to the level that we need, at least we can start put those no sort of like set of rules in place, right? I don't know, like, yeah, don't make two objects, intersect at 90-degree, so they create straight lines and stuff like that. I mean, I already know a lot of that stuff, of course, but just maybe in order to understand better and also help you like having that pipeline in place, maybe the best thing to do is just I need to do it once and then say, right, okay, this is how we, this is how we replicate it. Because otherwise, I think it's yeah, it's a bit too slow for me to trying to catch up with you know what you are trying what you are trying to do, especially on the on the main level, right? On the main level, it's too big, right? There are too many things to worry about, too many things that it could go wrong. On this level, let's say, right, okay, I just want to see, I take that bit there, right, and I want to make it look absolutely beautiful. Like every single centimeter needs to look, fantastic. Because I'm still waiting for. I just want to have like a 5 second video in which Josh does the dive roll in a beautiful environment. The camera is there is literally 5 seconds in which everybody will say, "This is the best thing ever." I just want to have that video. I guess so.
What are you doing tomorrow in the daytime? Like
Me,
yeah, like after lunchish.
no, I don't have any plans. Probably this, probably the thing that I say there.
Do you want to? In that case, then, do you want to get? I'll jump on tomorrow, like 1ish or something. Um, we'll jump in a call and we'll literally pick like pick like one of these inner squares, for example, and within this bound, just make it
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because especially if you wanted to like pick up, so you can do it yourself as well. I've got to walk you through a little bit how the mask material is set up, like what channel does what, and what the variables and the instances are, and that because you'll have questions as to like where things are. So it's handy if we're in the call, so I can show you at the same time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Because
The
I
the
can
annoying thing
see.
is we can't work at the same time. Same
Yeah, I
instance,
know.
which is
I mean,
frustrating.
we can have it. We can share the screen through what is the name of that thing? Team viewer thing, right? So it's like
Oh,
do
we
this.
could do actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can do that tomorrow. I've got
Because
plans in the evening tomorrow, but in the daytime I'm free.
oh, nice. Because I always see like these these people that are not any better than us, or at least like I got the full knowledge to do exactly what they do. They just have a more manual manual skills, and they can go faster because they know where the buttons are, right? Sorry, but you know I see those people that say, oh yeah, I take this stretch of this road, and I make it beautiful, right? And and their output is very very good, right? And I thought, well, there is nothing there that we cannot do, and of course it's more tailored to rendered cinematics and more like movie render queue and stuff. Sure, right? They got like 8K textures everywhere. Fine, but I think there are a lot of those principles that we can apply, on top of our principles, like top of our game dev, principles. I think it is gonna be okay. But by the way, did ambient occlusion work with that flag?
No.
No,
Um,
nice.
yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'll keep looking into it periodically, but weird. Level loaded a minute ago. Why has it got re-prepare all the shaders? But yeah, I'll jump on about like probably about 1ish, about half an sweet, and then yeah, we can just make one section absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, let's just make that square bit beautiful.
Mm.
I need to find a good product to clean my glasses. I freaking they're all like they got weird. I don't know, smudge on it.
I thought that was just one of the things you had to accept when you have
Yeah.
glasses. Like, yeah, that you'll never be able to get them properly clean.
But that really pissed me off. Really, just I don't understand why. I have this cleaning product thing, the spray, the the wipe that is anti-static bullshit, whatever. What is it? Just it's rubbish. Doesn't
Just,
work.
just get laser treatment, mate. Just get your eyes lasered.
I've asked, and they say I cannot do it.
What?
I don't know, apparently, if you have a lazy eye, it just doesn't work. The treatment.
Yeah, lazy eye.
Yeah.
Also, that seems outrageous because my best mate up in Scotland, his missus, she's got some eye thing with her eyes fucked up, but it's like also a little bit lazy now. But she got laser surgery.
Yeah.
It fixed loads of it. So I'd maybe get a second opinion if I was you. I think someone's chatting shit to you.
Yeah. No, when is when I registered to Specsavers as Jon Snow. Maybe they weren't really happy about me taking the piss.
Did you actually register as Jon Snow?
Yeah, as a Jon Snow.
What? Alright, fair enough.
Because I got so fed up that I just want some glasses, and they say, oh yeah, fill the form with all your detail. I just why? Just give me the freaking glasses. Why do you wanna know my life, right? And then I thought, yeah, sure, I fill my details. And they're like, just no. And they're like,
Sake.
there was like the address of something, and they say Kingston, and then I say the King of the North. They didn't notice that. I just really was taking the piss. That really pissed me off. They also sent me various emails that, of course, I never received because my email address was joesno at kingofthenorth.com, and the funny thing is that nobody noticed anything. There was one guy, right, that rather young guy, read my name, he looked at me, and they looked at me very, very strange. They say,
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those things where they're not allowed to ask because they're not allowed to assume that you're lying about your name and it's discrimination and it'll be one of those things where that's why he looks at you like, I know you're bullshitting, you know you're bullshitting,
yeah.
I can't say anything because I'll lose my job and you know that, so we'll pretend you're called Jon Snow.
But they had to call me like 2 or 3 times, say, John, and I was like, what? Me? Ah, yeah, sure.
God's sake. If you're going to do a fake name, you've at least got to remember what your name is.
Did I show you the picture that I took of my eye test?
No?
I'll show you.
Picture of your eye test.
Yeah, because when when they did the eye test, which partially failed because they said they couldn't have eye surgery for some reason. I say, yeah, well, that's very cool picture of my eye, and I took a picture. Where is it? So, over here. I'm gonna send you on Discord.
You're right if I look on stream, or
Yeah. That's freaking pictures. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go.
okay. I was gonna say, have you sent it?
Yeah, I sent it into the
Oh,
our
into
chat.
the.
Yeah. Look at
Should
look
you
at the name.
Snow Jon Snow? Do you know, just as a just like a little Easter egg, you should use it as the eye texture for Josh in the game.
What? And
Like the textures for John's eye. Fucking John, Josh's eyes in game. You should just use the like your own eye.
my own eye. Yeah. So can you imagine which is the eye that is the lazy eye?
The one on the right.
Yeah, I mean the one on the left. Yeah.
Well, with the stronger blood vessels.
No, the one on the right is my left eye, I think.
What? All right. Yeah. Okay. The right side of the image is the lazy eye. I meant.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You get just from like the strength of the blood vessels and how faded it is. That's what made me guess it would be that one.
Right. Quite interesting. Also, they got computers from 1995 as well. You know, it was like Windows 95 running on that thing. It's like, fuck me, where? Big saver, really. They're running on cheap.
Yeah, I know, it's nuts.
But I really need to know why the physics is not playing ball. Salute.
Arigato. Fucking hell, monkey. Maybe I feel better soon, mate. That sounds rough. Hey, what's up, Sudaka? I apologise for not understanding your message, but I like the energy in it. Flames and exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I like the vibes. Right, I'm going to call the stream there though, and call it a night. I think if we can convince him, David might be taking over, so that'll be
Already?
fun.
Slacker.
Yes, ready. Do you want to have a look at this quick before I go? I'm not hanging around to like tear it apart, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
Bruce and Fist.
Can you make it full screen?
Oh,
Yeah. Behind the scene.
yeah, behind the curtain. God, I hate Unreal so much. I don't. I love it, but I hate it. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. It's got more life, more definition, and you know, in the picture. Yeah. It's, the direction is definitely better. Yeah, I don't know how long is left before we can finalize it, right? I mean, before we can call it final. Some questions remains on the.
Yeah, I mean, don't know if we'll ever call it final is the problem. I think every time we set a bar, once we hit it, we'll end up being like, yeah, but we could do more. And we'll bump the bar up. And then we'll reach it and we'll be like, yeah, but we could do better. And then we'll bump the bar up.
No, I mean, no, I think once we reach once we reach a shippable quality, well, we can do better is always the case, but it's like reaching that point. It's
She looks better in high than in epic. Interesting. This looks quite cool. All like shaded out.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
bad vibe.
Vision. Also, do you like the name? It's a community center.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know why that really makes me chuckle.
Yeah, I mean, text really makes a difference. Generally, like we need more.
We need signage.
Logos, something that.
Yeah, logos, but even just like street signage, start one way, no parkour, no littering, so on and so forth.
We have in the Kickstarter we had one of the backers whenever there was you in the game bit, right? And
I saw a message about that earlier. Are the models made?
Yeah, I mean we got about 50 of them. We got about 150 people that backed that thing. Maybe less. I think 120-ish. Yeah, and we got about 50 that made. I mean, mainly because the people that backed it, they didn't show up yet. But so far, everyone that asked for it, that we made it, right?
I mean, if we've got Why don't we drop them around the level? Just to put
Yeah,
some
that was
life.
actually, I was thinking like just today when I read the message, I was thinking, well, we go all those. I mean, those were made a long time ago. Those were
Uh,
made like
I didn't realize we had them. Oh, that'd be
yeah,
sick. Because like even just having this guy here, just having an element of life happening,
yeah.
does a lot to sell it.
I mean, they were made with character creator, and their skeleton and the meshes, they're not exactly crowd friendly. They are quite heavy, but yeah, it's a way to optimize it. But I'm wondering if, because the other thing is that the way we used to mock up data is that we basically hit record, went outside, and just never switch it off, right? So there is a bit in which we are working. Actually, I
You
think
have hours and hours of walking data.
when you were here, like with Josh, right?
Oh, you mean when we done like a 4 mile round trip around Kingston?
Yeah. So like it was still recording, so we had all that data of just walking like around the thing forever, right? So like, and it's a very beautiful data, right? It's really nice. So I thought, well, I mean, just put it to those character and just make them work around. Maybe just we will have a little bit of life in the level. Of course, performance is a problem, but
Yeah, but performance is a problem with everything in this level, so I wouldn't worry about that too much.
well, yeah, it's everything will adapt, but yeah.
Everything will adapt or it will die.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to call it a night there. So, to everyone in the stream, thank you for joining me. Sorry, it wasn't a super exciting one. It was mostly just me and Dado discussing stuff, and yeah, but interesting nonetheless. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. And one of us, I imagine it'll be me that runs, but like I imagine we'll stream tomorrow when we're going through that area, trying to make it look really good because that'd be a good stream actually. Hey, you're right, Rog. Hello and good night. All right, peace.